We are so close to Superman. It's literally 2 days before the movie comes out. And I got to be 100% completely and totally transparent with you guys. I'm nervous.
Gracias por ver la esquina de Jody. Thank you for watching Jody's Corner.
I'm a little bit shaken right now because I've been feeling this way for the better part of a month because Superman's coming and this movie has a lot writing on it. This is not just a run of the mill MCU movie that comes out. Ant-Man 3. Here's a Captain Marvel Part 2. Thor Love and Trash. Where it doesn't really matter if you watch those movies and hate them or not. Because the MCU formula is going to just keep on chugging along. And that's something that Marvel has that we do not have at DC. There is no DCU formula yet. It takes time to create that. So we don't have that. So basically right now, when it comes to this Superman movie, it's riding off the merit of James Gunn's direction and writing. It's riding off of the merit of if the film itself is good or not. There's nothing really else that matters. I mean, I understand the Snyder cult is a thing. They're going to be toxic. They're going to be mean and evil like they always are. But that has nothing to do with the future and the success of the DCU. It has everything to do with if the movie is good or not. This movie has to be good. It has to be good. If it's great, even better. If it's awesome, even better than that. But we can't take an L here. And it's even though you have confidence in a movie, because I believe Superman's going to be fantastic. DC Rises. These Marvel movies that have come out this year haven't been great. So Superman has the chance to highlight and win 2025 in a very big way. Because I don't think Fantastic Four is going to do it for me personally. This movie has to be great because of everything that's riding on it. You have, but aside from toxic fandoms, you have a lot of people that are interested in this film's failure. And then you have a lot of people, probably even way more people that are interested in this movie's success. Someone like me, someone like you. So when James Gunn released that first teaser, all of my stuff just melted away, oozed away. Because I had those first film, don't really know what's going on jitters. Some of the things that James Gunn has been saying hasn't really been helping. I don't think that his PR brain isn't working, ain't functioning. So saying things like, Superman doesn't need to make a lot of money. It only needs to break even. I'm good with that. I don't need a home run. Give me a base hit. Those type of things are what are spiking my tension. So it's like, wait a minute, dude. Like, do you understand that this Superman movie needs to be great and needs to make money? Superman needs to be more box office successful than critically acclaimed. And I believe James knows that. He doesn't want to let you guys know that. He's not going to tell you guys that. But from the business side, the business and the money are going to keep DCU going, not critics saying how great your movie is. There's a lot of great movies over the years that didn't make no money, and they're cult followings. But guess what? That movie flopped. People lost their jobs back then when it came out. Shawshank Redemption is a great example of that. I'm a Shawshank Redemption fan. It's my second favorite movie of all time. And I believe that movie flopped when it came to theatrical. It flopped. Nobody went to go see it. And then years later, we're like, oh, over the time, that movie was good. See, no one cared then. They care now, but it doesn't matter. Imagine if Shawshank got the attention that it deserved, the money that it deserved. Who knows what would have happened with Tim Robbins? Who knows what would have happened with some of those directors, DPs, cinematographers, people that worked on that cast crew? Their careers could have skyrocketed because of it. So I'm only bringing that example to bring you back to Superman and how box office does matter. Critical acclaim in this world although I'm a movie critic and I understand that critical acclaim matters more personally to me because I care about watching a good movie rather than knowing that, oh, the movie did well in the box office. I don't care that much when I'm watching a regular movie. But this Superman, this is my jam. I'm a DC fan. I'm a Superman fan. So I have more things invested in this personally. So for like one of the first few times, I want this film to be great because that's how my brain works when it comes to film. But I want this movie to be financially successful in the box office too. I want this. I need this movie to do great in the box office. And what James said about breaking even at $450 million, this movie making 450 or 500, nah. We need to set our bar a little bit higher than that, JG. And I need this movie to make, I feel like 750 is a really good number of success where DC rises, and we could just look back, take a deep breath in and be like, yeah, this is what I want, this is what I like, this is what we need. So the factor of knowing that the box office needs to work needs to be in everybody's minds. We need to be paying attention to the box office for the first couple of weeks to see where this thing is going to go. Then the critic side of me is like, we need a good movie, right? Because there's a lot of, on the opposite side of that coin, there's a lot of box office behemoths, a lot of financial juggernauts that have come out in the past that were absolutely garbage. Transformers is a pretty much garbage franchise now. Michael Bay took Transformers and made it great, and then Michael Bay took Transformers and made it trash. Somebody else took Transformers and continued the trash. And now, look at the franchise. The franchise is basically dead. They're going back to Michael Bay. Allegedly, Michael Bay is going to return to do another Transformers movie because they need him back. They're going to reset and redo things for one last hoorah. That was a dead franchise that made billions of dollars. Dark of the Moon made over $1 billion. Age of Extinction made over $1 billion. Age of Extinction is a bad movie, but it made a lot of money. Jurassic World Dominion is a bad movie, made over $1 billion. So there's a lot of MCU movies that do really well. Star Wars movies, all of the Disney Star Wars movies, canon ones, made over $1 billion, and they're all bad, like trash even. And those made a lot of money. So, but those are bad movies, and you see the effect that a bad movie could have on a franchise. I don't want Star Wars for Superman. I've already had Star Wars for Superman in the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse was hell for me. I don't want that again. Please. So I want you guys to know where my head is at before we're going to go into this Superman movie. This video that I'm giving to you will be my final ultimate predictions of what I think Superman is going to be. I've stayed away from social media for the better part of 2 weeks now because I don't trust people to not try to spoil and be bad actors. So there will not be any streams this week aside from the JC House. What is the JC House, Jody? Well, there's people coming on from all over the country to come watch Superman with me. And we rented out a house, and we're going to be living in that motherfucker for the next 3-4 days. Taking journeys all over Los Angeles with my subscribers who want to see Superman with me, who want to hang out, who want to cook. We got a pool. It's going to be fun. So we're going to be live streaming that whole thing. So if you want to subscribe to Jody's Corner, you should probably do that now so you can get all that content over the weekend. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to give you guys a mega movie review, spoiler review, discussion. It's going to be crazy. So really tap into Jody's Corner and subscribe so you guys could be there for all of the Superman this week. This weekend is the weekend of Superman. So there's that. I do not want to be not even like spoiled, right? I don't want people to try to push me in a certain direction. Man, that movie did. Man, I heard this. I heard it's dope. I heard it's fire, Jody. I heard it's kind of mid, Jody. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know if you've watched it. Keep it on the low. But literally, because my heart can't take it anymore. If Superman flops, I'm dead, bro. I'm out of here. Ching. I gotta find something else to do on YouTube, dog. What about finances or business or cars, something? I gotta get the hell out of this genre. Because it just ain't working. But in all seriousness, man, my final prediction for Superman is I believe that Superman is gonna have some errors. There's gonna be some things that make me upset. But overall, I think that JG is gonna do Superman justice in the sense of making Superman likable to people who did not previously like or people who previously disliked Superman. He's a very good take a look at this package director and writer he has the ability to take a hero and make him likable. Like look what he's did with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's you could argue he's a master at taking mid-tier and garbage characters and making them great as far as popularity goes. Look what he's done with Creature Commandos. Look what he's done with Suicide Squad. Look what he's done with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, who were they 10 years ago? Nobody. Nobody cared about them. But now, there's a few people that actually care about the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, imagine a behemoth like Superman. He has an actual A-lister. This is the first time in his career where he actually is making a movie about an A-list character that doesn't need his help being popular as a character, if you know what I mean. So I think he's going to take those skills and deliver Superman in a package that is very consumable for a lot of people to enjoy. You know, because the misconception is that, oh, you can't make a Superman movie. He's too OP. He's too strong, which is crazy. We just saw a movie a few months ago called The Thunderbolts that literally had a character called the Void in it that takes you to the sunken place. What? Don't talk to me about OP. That don't matter. We seen Infinity War and Endgame, right? Thanos was done in live action, right? Mm-hmm. So that OP thing is BS for people to just low key hate on Superman. So I think that he will make Superman. He would put him in a positive light where people walk away from the movie happy, entertained, and more hopeful in Superman and more hopeful in the DCU as a whole. So I think that JG is going to take a W for Superman on that note. Now, Superman fans like myself, people who think a little bit deeper when they watch movies, people who have higher thresholds for quality of film, where you're going to have a little bit harder of a time, I think. So for when it comes to me personally, I think that some of the errors that JG is going to make are going to be intentional in order to deliver the package. I feel like in his head, I think JG knows he knows that he needs to make Superman mass appeal. And I believe that he believes that in order to do it, he needs to do it his way and keep it the James Gunn formula going. Keeping that Guardians of the Galaxy type of feel and vibe and tone going for Superman. And if you like the JG tone, which is kind of MCU-ish, then that's fine. But me personally, I don't particularly like James Gunn's tone for characters that have a lot of history like Superman. I'm perfectly fine with his tone for non-name freaking heroes that don't really matter, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad and Creature Commandos. That's fine. They don't mean nothing. Peacemaker, you don't mean shit. You need to install confidence in Superman fans. Like the general audience, they matter in the sense of box office. They don't really matter in the sense of critical acclaim, if a movie is deemed a great movie or not, because general audiences, they feed me the filth and they'll eat it.
I write a big secret. People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
The general audiences have made the MCU the juggernaut that it is. The MCU formula exists for the general audience. But DC, I've always looked at as a little bit different than Marvel. The MCU has, Brad Pitt recently came out and said he doesn't recommend any new young actors to get into superheroes because it'll kill them. It'll kill their talent. It'll kill their drive. It'll kill their career, in the sense of artistic, in the sense of, because those movies are so shallow. They a movie could lock you in for 10 years. Look, Chris Evans was locked into Captain America for a decade. Robert Downey Jr. was locked in for a decade. Scarlett Johansson. A lot of characters you get locked in, and then sometimes the only things that you have on your schedule is Marvel stuff. He was talking about the MCU, and he's right. I feel like, and Martin Scorsese, what he said about them being theme park movies, amusement park films, like they don't have substance. It's all eye candy. DC was always a little bit different than that. I mean, I'm thinking about Wonder Woman. What an amazing film, movie, and superhero movie that was. It's fantastic. 84 had its issues, obviously. You had the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, which was more liked, but less watched because of the pandemic. And then you had like Justice League, and you had the BBSs and stuff like that. Even though those movies weren't great to me, they had some substance to them. Some pretty cinematic value, and some deep storylines in there where, like, even though I think BBS is trash because it's a movie about Batman and Superman, and they completely wipe away what those heroes are, I will never say that it's not a cinematic film. I would never say that it doesn't have some good storylines up in there. But the problem is you're making these stories about heroes. And those are stories about regular dark people that should never be put on heroes. So even when DC messes up, they're not messing up in the sense of bringing a sense of quality of film to the table. They mess up for other reasons. I don't think that James is that type of person, and I feel like Superman is going to be, when I walk out that theater, I think I'm going to be happy, hopeful. And I think that Superman is going to be, I think it's going to be really good. Good, really good, great. I think that Superman will be that. I think that I'll have some gripes that piss me off because I think that James Gunn's writing style and directing style isn't in tune with what I want for Superman. But there's things about his writing style that are in tune with what I want. Just more overall things that he does that I don't really like, and I don't know if he's gonna do them in this movie for Superman. I've always said on my channel, JG's doing that goofy stuff because it's the MCU's Guardians. JG knows that Guardians don't matter. He knows that Suicide Squad don't matter. He knows that Creature matter. That's why he does them, because they don't matter. You can take a character that has no love, no fandom, no real history, and you could do whatever you want with them. Those are probably the funnest characters for James. That's why he picks those obscure D-list heroes, so he could do whatever the heck he wants to them for the sake of comedy and lightheartedness and raunchiness and whatever it is. Superman, on the other hand, he has rules that you need to go by. He has a fandom that you need to appease. He's a legacy character. And I always believe that James understands the difference. How could he not? James knows that he can't Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. This is what I believe. A lot of you guys disagree here, but there's no way he could be that, like, just out of touch and tone deaf. He knows he has to approach this Superman differently than he's approached any superhero movie he's ever made. And then I seen a clip of JG saying that this was the hardest movie he ever made. And that was good to hear. That was music to my ears when he said that. Like, okay, hardest movie you ever made. It should be. It should be. Because some of these movies that you make don't matter. Guardians of the Galaxy, my favorite is Volume 2 because it's emotional. Has made me cry. He was your father, but he wasn't your daddy. I married Poppins, y'all. That was, and then the Ravager funeral was freaking great. Aside from that and a couple of things, the franchise doesn't really matter. These characters don't matter. I don't give a freak about Star-Lord. I could care less. I like Drax, but he could die. We wouldn't care. Gamora doesn't matter. None of them matter. Some people like the raccoon because of Guardians 3 because they love animals, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, overall, they don't matter. Superman, I believe that he matters. I feel like you're going to get a sense of like levity, and you're going to get a sense of seriousness. Not you get some lightheartedness. You're going to get some jokes in the movie, I believe. Absolutely. James Gunn's making this bad boy, by the way. But overall, things that James has said about the heart of the character, what he represents, he's saying the right things when it comes to the character. And creatively, James is great for Superman, right? Like as a writer director, he does a really good job at what he does, right? But as a studio head is where I have an issue with him. What he says about these movies and how they should perform, and how he's out of his depth, out of his league there, and it's just like nonsense to me. So JG as the writer director, I feel like will be really good for DC. The studio head, not so much. So, but this movie is actually written and directed by JG. This is where he cooks at. This is his kitchen, and he's gonna chef curry this bad boy. And I believe that the recipe that comes out, the final product that hits my plate, is going to be a delicious one. Now, I could be like, oh, it was a little overdone here. The shrimp a little bit stringy. But god dang, it was a pretty good meal. Thank you very much, James. Chef James. You're welcome, motherfucker. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to walk out satiated. All of the things that emotions that I'm feeling, and it is a lot of emotions that I'm feeling, but it's a lot of thoughts that are just going through my head that are making me uneasy with this movie. Let's talk about some negative things that could be potentially a problem here. He could write and create a disaster. This movie can be bad. It could be a run-of-the-mill Guardians movie with no soul, a whole hell of a lot of too many jokes, and a depowered Superman that should be super, and he's not, and too many characters that conflate this movie and make it feel like it's not so much a Superman movie, but more of like a Justice League prequel type of movie starring the Justice Gang. There's a lot of things that too much crypto. Crypto could be the showstopper. He could be a problem. My biggest worry and concern revolves around crypto and how much James is going to utilize him, because he's already put a lot of himself in this movie. His dog, the dog's likeness, JG Justice Gang, some of the characters he put in here, like what are we doing? And the fact that this prequel novel exists here that I read, that's an actual origin of Superman. That should have probably some things in there that should probably have been in the film. I believe the main villain in this book should have probably been the villain in this movie, rather than a shiny golden metal thing, metamorpho situation, and a chick from the Authority. So there's a lot of little things in there that could be a problem that could turn out bad for the film. But overall, I think that Superman is going to be a good movie. And if I had to give this movie an anticipatory grade, I think Superman needs a B or higher as far as like perception from me and from others. At least it's like, oh, a solid B movie. Good. I think that Superman needs a B, but I want a B plus. I want a B plus, and I'm expecting a B. I expect a B. I want a B plus or higher. Obviously, an A plus. I want an A plus. But anything B plus, A minus, A plus, oh, we cooking, bro. We cooking. And then it's all eyes on the box office then, because this Jurassic World is out, and it's already at about $150 million domestically, $145 million domestically over 5 days. So, hopefully people see that movie is mid as heck, and they want to see themselves an actual hero with a film that probably deserves their money a hell of a lot more than the Jurassic World does. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Obviously, let's not spoil or anything, or speak freely, but just keep in mind, be sensitive about my wants and desires. And DC rises, man. DC rises. Everything is riding on you, Soups. Everything is riding on him, and the pressure is real. If I can feel it, I know James feels it times 10. But it's almost over. It's almost over. The premiere was yesterday in LA. I didn't even watch that because I don't want to. There's just a lot of stuff on the internet, and I don't want no parts of it. I just wanted so many clips and bro. What are we gonna? Are we gonna get? Are y'all showing me the movie? Like, bro, let me just see this movie, bro. Let me just see this movie. Subscribe to Jody's Corner. Hopefully you can stay around for the JC House. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out. Deuces.